Hello there, everybody. This is a service announcement brought to you by Shady Entertainment. Alright guys, today something's bothering me. Something's got my goat, as one would say. Someone's got my hairs all knotted up. I'm one of those people that I like to keep a calm demeanor. Not really. I try not to let things bother me that often. But sometimes when they do, I get angry and I rant. So this is the thing. It's just too much online, too much crap about this idea of toxic fandom. You know, toxic fans, and that we gotta be talked to down by directors and other producers who talk down to like little children, you know, like, you know when you feel like you're being talked down to by grown-ups and they're trying to tell you, well, you know, if you don't behave yourselves, you're not gonna get any candy. You know, like as if the candy they were giving us was worth a damn anyway. They're giving me the black licorice and telling me that, oh, you're not gonna get any candy. Well, you can stuff your blood. I personally like black licorice, guys. I only use black licorice because it's one of those that people tend to go, and so they're trying to tell us, like, talk down to us like we're little babies. Hey guys, hey, if you don't behave yourselves and stop act up like a bunch of spoiled man babies living in your mommy's apartment or grandmother's basement apartment, there's not going to be any good directors to take on your beloved properties. So behave. Na boo boo. Really, guys? Really? But once again, this is another example of blinkered Philistine pig ignorance I've come to expect from these non-creative garbage. So I kind of want to get this out there, because listen, are fans toxic? Is there an element of fans that are toxic? Is there truth to that? Of course there's truth to that. Of course there is toxic fans, okay? Those toxic fans within a fan base mean that the entire fan base who disagrees or doesn't like something entirely toxic? Well, of course not. And they know this is all PR for them. They just sit there typing away, sending out PR statements, going, hey, we gotta calm this down. You guys keep shaming them until we right the ship, so we can keep, you know, honesty, guys. I'm telling you, Mickey, just be honest. It'll set you free, because that's all we really want, right? We just want honesty from these guys. We're tired of hearing the PR statements and the you guys are racist nonsense, and you guys are saying it's all BS. We all know it's BS. They know it's BS. Now, they want to come here and tell us that we didn't expect all this toxic fan base, right? They didn't expect this, guys. There's no precedent for this at all. You have a guy like Rian Johnson, who admittedly, look up SC reviews, he's got the video, I mean, probably video, you can type it out there, an old video where Rian Johnson comes out and says, if I know that 50% of the people, you know, didn't like my movie, then I know I did a good job. No, people will argue that the spirit of that statement was that if he creates divisiveness, or if he creates controversy or some form of, I guess, what he considers an act of dialogue or thinking or you know, then it's a good job. And that's probably not a bad thought if it's your own property. And if you want to create a division and an argument, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm all for that. But use your own damn property for that. Use your own damn movie. Star Wars is not the vehicle for something like that. This is the type of thing that we're seeing. Let's go into the toxic fan base, because I want to talk about us being toxic. Are we toxic? Yes. We are. We're toxic. Everybody's toxic. They're toxic. There's also an element of toxic in anything. There's toxic school students. I don't want Billy to hang around and sit next to Ted, because when Billy sits next to Ted, all they do is talk, and I can't get any math questions out there because it's just yap, 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 yap. It's a toxic relationship. You gotta split them apart. There's that level and element of toxicity in anything you want. There's toxic fans in sports. There's toxic fans. Now, Star Wars and Star Trek, because these two are kind of like pseudo-religions in a way. That's the one thing that makes them so big and so lucrative, right? Is the fact that they come with this passion, you know, this passionate fan base that, yes, are a bit obsessive at times. And let me give you an example. Like, I'm a Trekkie. I love both Star Wars and Star Trek. And growing up, I was a huge Trekkie, you know, and people used to make fun, not of me, but of Trekkies when I was a kid, saying, what's the difference between a Star Trek fan and a wrestling fan? Difference is, wrestling fans know it's fake. I used to hear that as a Trekkie, and I used to laugh my head off because it's true. It's true. You know how many conversations we engaged in when we were in high school about that Captain Clark, white and black, better than Kirk because when Kirk flies the sparrow and black, and you know, we all engaged in those geeky conversations when we were a kid. You think back now and you're like, yeah, we kind of took it a bit too seriously. When I was young, we did. I mean, I'm pretty sure people and adults still do that, you know, and that's fine. You know, that's what they're passionate about. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right, but it's when you vocalize that and get, you know, very abusive towards people, that's not right. But that fan base, yes, it is a strong and it is a very loyal fan base, and you knew that when you were going into it. And there's no way that, you know, you didn't know this. I mean, the Clone Wars, for example. Now, I'm one of those that liked the Clone Wars when it first came out. I mean, liked the original trilogy, the prequels when it first came out, and liked it less and less the more I saw it. I didn't really notice Jar Jar when I was young, and I didn't really notice Jar Jar all that much, but then you started growing up and noticing, like, yeah, he's a bit annoying. The whole sand speech got me more annoyed as time went on. But at the time, there was nothing for me to rile about, nothing really for me to get angry about. Even the midichlorian thing, which I'm going to probably do a whole video on midichlorians one day, because I still think that is a discussion that we must have at some point, because that is the only thing that I could see when we're talking about something to get annoyed with. When I first saw midichlorians, it almost seemed like it reeked to me of Scientology, and I'm not sure if it is or isn't. I don't know if he took elements of Scientology, and I don't really care. At the time I didn't care, and I still don't really care. It's just, it wasn't like they smacked you in the face with it hard, but at the time there was a reek of it, right? Like it was just hinted of like, let's check these midichlorian levels, right? You know, it was almost like when you walk down the street and it goes, you know, when you want to check your thetan levels. So there was an element of that. But that, to me, that is really the only thing that I could consider to be borderline worth kind of getting angry about, because it's sort of preaching philosophy that's, you know, but it wasn't so in your face, so whatever. So yeah, there's still a real thing that kind of bothered me on a level that I would say kind of be up to par, sort of with what The Last Jedi did. But, you know, it's still George Lucas's property, and he can do whatever the hell he wants, so that he invented the thing. And he didn't just do that, he also added to the universe, maybe expanded it out, and in the end you look at it going, well, there was some bad to the prequels, but there was also some really good stuff about the prequels, and we have a lot of deeper lore and stuff that we could draw from, so he expanded it, which was good. So it's got its ups and downs. This movie was none of that. This was not about Star Wars. The Last Jedi, guys, was about Rian Johnson's and Kathleen Kennedy's their personal opinion on whatever the hell they think. And it had nothing to do with Star Wars at all. So now let's get back to the toxic fans. Don't tell me that they didn't know what they were getting into, okay? Ghostbusters. I knew. I'm just a guy. I don't make movies, but I saw when they released the cast. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. I've been wanting a part 3 for years. I've been wanting part 3 to come out. I hear rumblings in the news and sprinkles out there that Ghostbusters, they're gonna come out with Ghostbusters. My mind's like, woohoo, Ghostbusters, excited for it, right? And then they come out and then they release the cast, and like, oh, they're gonna go with an all-girl thing. And I'm like, what, huh? Right, it had nothing to do with the fact that they were women. It's just that they weren't the original cast. And here's the thing, first I heard it was a reboot, and I'm like, huh? And that's not what we wanted. We wanted to see the same cast. I mean, you know, we wanted to see Egon, we want to see them back. I know that he died, you know, but we still kind of wanted to see them, the ones remaining, come back together in some form. We didn't want a reboot. So that was already on strike one, saying reboot, because nobody wanted a reboot for that. There was no need for one. And then we were like, all right, maybe we can get on board on this. I don't know. Maybe if they cast it right and we could see who Egon is going to be and who Rey is going to be. No, then they come out with, oh, we're not even going to have Rey, Egon, or any of those characters you remember and love and want. Nah, we're going to bring out all females, right? And we're like, huh? What? Now, like, I knew right away, because I said to people, I said, I like the cast. I like Leslie Jones. I liked all of them, actually. I liked all these girls. I thought they were very talented. And I said, I really don't think this is a smart move for their careers. I said that going in. I swear to God, got into arguments. This was way before the trailer was even released. I said, this is not a smart move for their careers. I said that because I know how bad fans can get of a property, and if they're not getting what they want. Because the Clone Wars was already set the precedent. I knew that this was going to be a big deal, because I know that there is a strong fan base for Ghostbusters of the original, and if you could just do a little minor detail, a little change in something and get people angry, this is not a minor change, this is a huge scale change, right? Now, the only thing that they had going for them was the whole feminist agenda thing, shaming people into like keeping their mouths shut about it, because we like the people that might have not liked it, you know, but I can't say anything because I don't want to get into controversy or anything like that. So they stayed quiet. But then there was those that just didn't. They said right away they saw the trailer, they're like, crap, down vote. And then they're like, what? We didn't expect any of this. These guys are all sexist for this. I'm not in Hollywood. I don't have a team of people who I can interview and ask, right? I'm just a dude who could see common sense. And I could add 1 + 1 = 2. You know, 2 - 2 = 0. I can add and subtract. And as long as you can add and subtract, you could have seen this coming. I saw it happening. I don't understand why everyone was like, oh no, it's gonna be good, it's gonna make money. I'm like, no way in hell. And I'm pretty sure they knew it too. And if they did know it, they don't care, or they pretended not to know. Or they're just that ignorant. Because I can see them just being that ignorant. Just being like a bunch of Mr. Burnses. Just see them in a boardroom, like business types, sitting around a boardroom like, our box offices are going down. We need to release something. What kind of property can we buy? Maybe it's prudence for us to make something new, sir. New, eh? No, I don't like that idea. We saw Mickey Mouse and all the success that he had, Marvel's been having, and now Star Wars. I think we should just out there and do like they did. Buy established logos and properties and just rehash. And we'll do what we want with it. It's like, I'm gonna buy Cheerios and I'm gonna call it Burnsos. And everyone's gonna just love it. I'm pretty sure Smithers was there telling you, sir, I don't believe this is a good idea. I don't care what you think, Smithers. We're going to do it. Now get it done. They forced this stuff down, regardless of probably the warnings that were out there. Now, talk about warnings. What did Mark Hamill do? Like, Mark Hamill did nothing but warn you guys. He said, fan base is a good fan base. It's a double-edged sword, right? You knew you were going to get a fan base that was loyal, that loved, that cared, that cherished this property. Like I said, it's like a religion to some of these people. And it's a huge money-making venture if you could do it right. But, like George Lucas found out, if it's done wrong, if it's done not right, the passion, the love, could be a double-edged sword. If you want to live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. But you guys want to sit there eating your cake like a bunch of fat cats. Oh my gosh, more money. Like you guys just, like I said, just sitting there like Mr. Burns going, they'll buy anything. Just slap the logo on and they don't care. But just slack-jawed yokels. But that's not the truth, right? Some people will go there and buy it because it says Star Wars, and we've seen those people. And there's an element of people who are not. There's people who are not going to tolerate it. There's people who are not going to like just a little minor change. Like, look at The Force Awakens, for example. The Force Awakens was divisive in a different way. And most people liked it, said it was okay. Probably the safest thing that J.J. Abrams could have done. I mean, he went a bit too far in the opposite direction, making it too safe. To me, it was it was cocky. You got cocky. You started thinking that people were going to buy anything. And Mark Hamill knew this was going to happen. Mark Hamill warned you. He said he's dealt with the fans. He knows the good and the bad, okay? And you can tell this is why I like Mark Hamill. He accepts the bad. He understands that there's a bad element to it. But he knows that the good and the rewards outweigh the bad. If it's done properly, if it's done right, look, it doesn't matter what you made. It wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter if Rian Johnson didn't direct this and George Lucas himself or somebody else like Steven Spielberg or whomever the heck you thought was a good director to direct this other than Rian Johnson and made a better movie. It wouldn't matter. You'd have haters. You would always have a hater. There's always going to be somebody that I didn't like the color of his lightsaber. I didn't like this scene because it was... There's always going to be that guy. Always. Or a group of those people. That's just the way it is. You can't get even your group of friends, you know, getting together in an adventure and painting a room, and no one's going to agree on the color. Because people are different. We all have different tastes and different things. Some people are vocal, some people aren't about their opinions. So that goes without saying anytime. Even on YouTube, guys. We people here on YouTube, we understand it. The minute we put ourselves out here, on YouTube, we understand that there's going to be people who are going to like us. We're going to understand that there's going to be people who are going to be meh. And we understand there's going to be haters. There's always going to be an element of toxic people who are just out there to get people for the sake of getting people, or just want to be angry for the sake of being angry, or just want to hate for the sake of hate, or just get off on making people squirm. That's just how it is. You can't escape from it. The minute you put yourself out there, you're inviting. I did stand-up comedy for 12 years. And I'm going to go back, guys. So just let you know, I'm going to be heading back onto the stage soon. And for years, you know, you have a good night where you get people loving you, and then there's nights where there's hecklers. And you know, as a stand-up comedian, when you get on that stage and the minute that light hits your face, you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your opinion out there, you're putting your views, you're going to get it. You know, there's going to be out there who's going to say, oh, you're stupid, what are you talking about? That's not true. That's just the way it is. You understand that. As a comedian, people understand that. That's what happened. So don't tell me that you guys went into this venture. Like George Lucas didn't tell Mickey Mouse, you know, when he wrote the contract and he was like, all right, Mickey, now I'm going to give you this, we're going to sign this contract here, you're going to give me all this money for Star Wars, right? This is a done deal but just we're letting you know, this is a fickle bunch, right? You understand that? This is not something you tamper with. They're very temperamental about little changes, right? So just so you know, I'm warning you that this is what's happening.
I don't care, I won't buy anything, they're a bunch of dummies. I'm Mickey Mouse, they'll like no matter what I do.
Maybe you thought,
the first one was so safe, but people don't like safe. Hey, Ryan Johnson, why don't we make it dangerous?
But you have to understand that when you're getting into something that is so popular and there's all these people and all the support backing it, you're definitely going to get that element. It goes with the territory. So now you guys are sitting there with this thing that can make you a ton of money or it can screw you up. And then to lie afterwards and then to say once you've screwed up the pooch, which you did, you know, you got this guy Ryan Johnson, which was the dumbest thing he could have done. I'm not even saying Kathleen Kennedy's force for feminine thing is like a horrible thing. I mean, it's a horrible thing the way it was executed, but there's nothing wrong with trying to add more women into the movie. It's just the way it was executed was so bad. It was so bad. I mean, that's really the issue. It's that the execution of it was poor. I've always said you could prop up women without having to put down men. This isn't a scale thing, right? You don't have to put up a woman and then say, oh, the guy has to drop. There's no reason for that. You can keep both a pie. There's no reason for there's a balance that you guys can have. This is like, forget the balance. There's no balance in the Falls, right? And don't insult the old fans. What's the point?
We just want the money from the kids. That's all we want, the little kids' money. The old people's money don't mean anything to us.
Right? And then you just sit there and go, forget the past, burn it if you must. Was that like a form of brainwashing? Was that something you were trying to convince us? Like, yes, we are dumb, burn the past, very good idea. Like, when we were dummies that we were gonna like not see? Was that like a form of subliminal? Because it was not very subliminal, it was very bliminal. Right to your face, telling you that you're old and everything you believe in, all that old stuff. Forget about it. We're going a different direction with this. This is not the property you go a different direction with, okay? It's not. It's a very sensitive thing that comes with reward. As good as the reward is, it also comes with a very punishing downside to it. Mark Hamill knew this. He warned you guys about this, and now you guys are sitting there going, oh, the toxic fan base, they don't like us, you guys are so mean, how could you all be so mean? You can't see having a director out there subverting expectations? Think about it, is that a good idea? Well, just on the surface, ask yourself this. His whole tagline was subverting expectations. Sure, a couple of guys will be like, that's a wonderful idea. We should take Star Wars in a brave new direction. There's always going to be that douche. Most of the fans, the people who buy the tickets that love this, are people who are very, very strict about the lore. Like I said, they just had a guy go, Misa, I like this. And they threw up this guy to the wolves. Little kid Annie, they threw to the wolves because they didn't like the kid. And he was actors, and I don't believe you should attack actors, guys. I don't. And if you're one of those people that does that, actors have nothing to do with it. They're not the ones writing the script. I've never been on board on that Rose Tico hate, because if you don't like the character, that's one thing. But don't hate the actress. She had nothing to do with it. And I'm not buying all that she left Twitter or Instagram because of hate. Maybe she did, but I mean that wouldn't surprise me. It's just that at this point, any credibility from the media about this is just thrown out the window. So I don't buy any of it. I don't condone attacking people. If you got that chance to be on Star Wars, you know, you take it. You'd be like, oh my god, I got Star Wars, oh my god, I'm gonna be a character, I'm gonna be Rose Tico, oh my god, I'm finally gonna make this role. And then fans and all their friends are probably like, oh Kelly, I'm so happy for you, oh my god, I'm so happy. And then she's so excited, and then, you know, she gets saddled with this role. And that's why I say actresses gotta be careful. And I said that about Ghostbusters because I was like, not that I thought that I didn't want to see girls in Ghostbusters. It's just the way that it was handled was so bad. Even Daisy Ridley, she didn't do very much before Star Wars. I mean, the only time I remember seeing her, she was like naked on a slab. in some, I don't know if it was which cop drama it was, but it was another one of those. And, you know, that's the only time I remember seeing her. I mean, she probably did other things. But, you know, this was probably her big break, too. And she didn't make the character. I understand the rage. I understand the anger. I'm with you on it. I'm with you. I don't like what happened. But at the same time, that's not the way to vent your frustration. Death threats and that kind of crap, it's uncalled for. Not only it's uncalled for, it's not sane. Normal human being doesn't do that, you know. And if you're one of those that kill you because you're doing my childhood, there's a line you don't cross, and that's the one. That aside, you know, when you have a guy like Ryan Johnson who actively, outwardly is trying to be controversial in a situation in which this is a very volatile situation, knowing this going in, it would be like this, okay? You have a zoo and you have a zookeeper. And the zookeeper is Ryan Johnson. And you have a bunch of lions. And the lions are hungry and they're starving. They haven't had food for quite a while. They're really hungry and they're in there going, I want some Star Wars dish. Right? And then you have a zookeeper going out dangling some meat. Hey guys, look what I got. They're all the lions are, oh, meat. Oh, you excited for meat? And the lion, and the lion's like a dog. I want meat. And he opens up the cage, he goes, hey, I got meat, right? And he takes the meat, puts it behind his back, and then tosses some celery into the bottom of the cage. And all the lions are like sniffing it around, go first. They're not sure what happened. It's like a magic trick that just happened here. And they're just like, it just looked like meat. And am I imagining things that it's supposed to be meat? And the other lions are just like, I think so. So some lions were just like, oh yeah, it's meat. I think this is meat, guys. Some lions believed that it was meat because they were so hungry that they didn't care. They just were so happy to put anything inside of their mouth that they just like, meat. But it was just celery. You're still gonna be hungry at the end. And then like, hey guys, celery's better for you, isn't it? I think you guys should have celery because celery is good for you. We're gonna put all you lions on a vegan diet as of now. Because I think that's what's better for you. And then the lion's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. You see, we here as meat eaters, we want ourselves some meat. And so they were all tired, going, give us some meat. And then Ryan Johnson goes, what do you guys want? You guys are stupid. You guys are dumb. You guys are, what are you, racist against celery? He just starts kicking the lions more and, you guys are stupid. Thought you were going to get some lettuce. I don't care. Screw your meat. Anyone who likes meat is stupid anyway. And the lions are just like, I'm gonna tear you limb from limb. Get over here, little squirt. Get over here. I'm in this cage. You're gonna see how they just grab them. There's a lot of death threats coming from those lions, I'll tell you right now. See, that's what you did. And I know that might be a little extreme, the scenario, but the truth is, guys, it's the same. You got a group of people who haven't seen Star Wars for a really long time, and we're hungry for some Star Wars, you know. And then here you had the dangling of some Star Wars, right? You thought that we were going to get a good Star Wars trilogy, and then in the end, you tried to subvert people's expectations, and then they threw out something that was not recognizable as Star Wars. And even though people who like it say, what's so good about it is that it's different, and it's like, okay, that might be good for whatever reason you like. I don't know. For a lot of people who just want to see Star Wars, who are hungry for Star Wars, changing it up that much is not. So now you're in the lion's den with a group of people. You know the tendency of a lion, and I'm going to say yes, you know the tendency of a fan base. There is precedent for this. There's precedent to know what happens to hungry lions. Lion could be your best friend. If you feed your lion, you raise him well, you teach him, you know, the lion could be your best friend too. He could be a good partner to have, right? You have to handle him with care. You have to handle that lion with care, and he could be your best friend. He could sit there beside you, be a good guard dog. No one will touch you. You could go to the top of that lion. However, you cross that line just a little. You cross that line just this much. The lion's instincts take over. And that lion will scratch the crap out of you. And probably maul you to death. And I'm not saying that that's right. My lion has every right to do that. I'm just saying that's the nature of the lion. And if you didn't know that that was going to be the nature of the lion, and if you didn't know that this was going to be the nature of the Star Wars fans when you went into this property, well then you guys are naive and stupid. And you have only yourselves to blame about any of this. Because we all know, when we put ourselves in front of this camera, we understand that this could go well, but there was a chance that this could go bad. You guys want to reap all the rewards, right? You guys want to reap the rewards from having a fan base, whether it be Thundercats, Ghostbusters, Star Trek, Star Wars. You guys want to really reap the rewards from an existing fan base we call She-Ra, a Gem, whatever the heck. all these properties that you guys thought was a great idea to just because they already have a name, you don't have to do any of the work or spend a lot of money on making a new brand because it comes with its own passionate fan base, Transformers, and then repackage it into whatever nonsense you guys want and think that it's going to be okay. It's not. It never was going to be okay. I don't know what to tell you guys. You want to sit there and blame the fans for being passionate fans who are passionate about a certain thing and react in a way that you didn't like, but you want them to only react the way you want them to react. Well, unfortunately, that's not the way human nature works. That's not the way lions work. We react emotionally to things that we care about, and it's the same passion that gives you the money, that loads your wallets. It's the same passion that you were counting on to make you guys rich. The same passion that you guys were hoping would make you money is the exact same passion that leads to this supposed toxic fan base that you guys are now crying over. You guys are meanies, bunch of meanies. Yes, I'm not defending it. I'm just saying it is what it is. You got to work with it. Better to be safe than sorry. You have something that could lead you to the top. Treat it well, handle it with care, give it respect, give the fans the respect that they want because you really want to give them what they want. If you want to do whatever the hell you want and say, hey, subvert expectations, make something new, make something real, then start being creative. You know, creativity, be creative, make your own crap. But if you want to take existing properties and start infusing your views and infusing your malarkey and your nonsense, then you're going to get what you get. We expect. You know, you're offering celery to hungry lions who want meat, and you want them to react in any other way. It's unfortunate that's not the way it works. You know, people don't react just because the way you want them to react, just because you say so. And then you use your influence by as if they were trying to brainwash with subtle little hints of, forget the past, guys, forget it. You know, like trying to do the Jedi mind trick on us. You guys think you're slick, but you're not. We saw through it this time, and we're going to continue to see through it, and this isn't going to work. So you guys want to ask yourself, is it worth buying properties now? Just so that you can repackage and rebrand it and throw your little things. It's not going to be worth it anymore. And I don't understand why you continue to do it. Start making something new. It's enough is enough with the rehash, rebrand, reboot, re-nonsense, okay? Sorry guys, I had to be all angry today. This bothers me. I'm starting to get fed up with this. I can't see anything new anymore. Everything is old, rehashed. And then when we don't like it, they tell us what to think. And then when we don't think a certain way, they throw people out there to shame us. They keep doubling and tripling down on this stuff. We're the ones to blame. Listen, I'm not a person that goes out there on Twitter. I have an account, but I barely use it. I don't care. I don't go back and forth with people. If I don't like someone's viewpoint, I won't go out there and start crapping on the person. I'm not that type of person. If you have your view, you have your view. As long as your view isn't hurting me in any way, you know, I'll stay pretty quiet about it. But I'm not everybody, and I understand that I'm not everybody. Everybody has their own way of doing things and dealing with things. I deal with things when I get up here and I rant on this camera. Why? Because I can, and this is what I like to vent with. Other people vent through Facebook, they vent through other things, they vent through Twitter. That's their business. That's what they want to do. You can't tell people how to vent. As long as they're not hurting somebody, deal with it. That's all I gotta say about you guys. I know this was probably an angry one, and I normally try to be more comical and comedy, but you know, I'm getting fed up with this crap. I'm getting very fed up with the fact that these guys, they lie, they're devious, they're conniving, they're trying to constantly tell us how to feel, how to think, how to be. You know, when we don't want it and we don't like it, then they try to shame people. It's becoming an outright war, and it shouldn't have to be. This is something that's just for fun. And if you take it for fun and don't use it for your political views, what are the two things that they tell you not to do at a party? And the two things they tell you not to do socially? One of them, don't talk about your religion. The other one is don't talk about politics. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. You don't talk, because you know that those are the really two things that infuses rage and anger. When you get political, Ghostbusters got political. Last Jedi got political. You start getting political with things, you're already dividing the fans. Anyway, guys, that's the end of my rant. You know, anyway, that's what I think, guys, and I'm tired of this. I really am. I'm sick of this nonsense. I hope you guys are sick of it too, and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to sit there and just, you know, be called names and this and that and say, oh, you guys are toxic. You're toxic. There's a lot of toxic stuff going around. You can all be toxic together. That's all I got to say. Anyway, guys, leave the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, and all that sort of thing. Right, guys? Till next time.